Hello everyone, welcome to Civil Engineering Skills. In this video, we will discuss some basic commands related to AutoCAD. When you start your AutoCAD software, this will be your first screen. Here you can see the template for a new drawing, or if you want to work with the recent documents, then you can choose any of the document from this column. If you want to open any existing file on your computer, then click on the open file and select the file location. Okay, so that's how you can work on the existing file. But as a beginner, we will start with our new template and we will see the basic command related to 2D drawings. So let's start our tutorial with the starting template. When you click on the start drawing, one template will going to open and now you can work with that template. Okay. So let me give you a brief introduction about all these commands, ribbon panel and everything. So at the top you will see draw, modify, annotation, layers, block, properties. All of this is known as a ribbon. And ribbon is having a different types of commands. For 2D drawing, you can use all the commands given here. Then if you want to modify your drawing, then these are the commands that we can use. Then for the annotation, that is dimension or text, we can use the annotation. And this one is for the layers. Then block, then different types of property. If you want to change property of any of the drawing object, then you can change it from here. Then if you want to create group of any object, then you can use this commands. And to measure any distance, any area, any angle between any 2 points of your drawing, you can utilize this utility tools. Okay, same way we will see each and everything in detail. So here you can see XY plane is given. So as we are working in a 2D drawing, so we are going to work with the X and Y axis, and this is our origin point. Same way here you can see north, south, east and west, all the direction is given to you. If you want to change the direction according to your drawing, you can change the direction as well. And from the middle option, you can see currently the top view is activated. If you want any other view, then you can change also. If I want a front view, click on the bottom arrow. Same way for the other view, left, right, everything, you can choose whatever view you want to work on. Now here you can see navigation panel tools are also given. So navigation panel tools are carrying some commands like pen. For with the help of that you can move your drawing. Then zoom extend, with the help of that you can zoom into your working area. Then orbit, with the help of orbit you can change the view as per your requirement. And the last option here you can see the show motion, that is for the animation part. Okay. Now next is command line. So to activate any command, you can type here anything. For example, if you want to activate the line command, you can type LINE. Here you can see the plenty of command for the line is been highlighted. You can choose any of that and you can work on that command. Then next is at the bottom corner toolbar, you can see the first one is grid on off, that is for the background grid. Here you can see the background grid is available. If you don't require that grid, you can off that grid. Okay. Next one is the snap mode. I will recommend that keep it on, as you can snap your object that you have previously drawn. For example, let me draw one rectangle. Okay. Now with the help of the snap mode, and you can snap that object. If you want to make a line that is starting with the same height and ending at anywhere you want, if you want ending point also at the same line, then you can easily create that line. Okay. So that is how you can use the snap mode. Then next one is the ortho mode. Then ortho mode is useful when you want to draw any line or any other drawing that is always perpendicular to each other. That means we don't require any angular measurement. Same way the next important one is snap cursor. Click on the arrow provided, select all the available options. With the help of that, you can select all these points from your object like end point, midpoint, center, geometric center, and each and every other options of your created objects. Okay. Next one is annotation object. So keep it also on, and you can change the scale of your annotation as per your requirement. Okay. Next, on the top you can see the drafting and annotation option. Here are plenty of options are available. If you want to work with the 3D drawings, you can choose 3D basic or 3D modeling according to your requirement. And here you can see now you can create the 3D objects. Okay, so currently we are focusing on 2D part. So we are selecting drafting and annotation. Now, before starting any of your project or any of your drawing, make sure that you have set your unit correctly. To set the unit, either you can go to the AutoCAD symbol, then drawing utility and choose the unit, or you can simply type units and enter. Here you can see the type of unit is decimal. You can choose architectural, engineering, fractional, scientific, any of the type according to your requirement. Currently we are keeping it as a decimal. And next you can set your precision. Okay, now you can choose your unit, whether you want to work with the inches, feet, US survey feet, miles, millimeter, centimeter, meters. Currently we are selecting that as a millimeter. Okay, then for the angle also you can choose decimal, degree, gradient, radian as per your requirement. So currently we are using the decimal degree and precision up to 0. Click on OK. Now let's talk about our first command, that is line. So to activate line command, either you can select it from the ribbon or you can type line and hit enter. Okay, you can draw a line with the help of coordinates also. Here you can see the two coordinates are there, 200 and 90. That means in x-axis it is at 200 millimeter and in the y-axis it is at 90 millimeter. So command line is also guiding you how to create your line or how to use your line command. Okay, so I am specifying first point as 200, 100. Now if you want to work with the straight line, switch on the ortho mode, and now you can see our line will be either horizontal or vertical. Okay, now to draw a line of, let's consider 100 mm, you can type the distance as 100 mm and hit enter. And here you can see our line has been created. Now if you want to draw another line that is perpendicular in a downward direction, similar way you can enter the distance. Let's consider it to be 150 and hit enter. Same way again at the left hand side, again 100, and if you want to make a rectangle, you can select the first point. Okay, so here is our rectangle of 100 by 150. Clear? Now if you want to exit from your line command, then just press escape from your keyboard. Clear? So this is how you can draw the straight line or a line in a horizontal or vertical direction. Now let's see that if I want to draw any line that is at certain angle, then how can we? So select your first point, then insert the distance. Let's consider the distance to be 50. Now press the tab button. Here you can see it changes from 50 to the angular part. Now insert the angle that you require. Let's consider we require a line at 45 degree. So enter the angle as 45 and hit enter. So you can see our line has created at angle of 45 degree. That's how you can draw your line with the help of linear measurement and as well as angular measurement. Now let's move to our next command, that is polyline. So select the polyline command or you can type the polyline. Okay, now specify the first point. Let's consider it to be here, then at a 50, then again at a 50, again at a 50, again at a 50. Okay, so it is very simple to draw a rectangle or any kind of polygon with the help of polyline instead of line command. You can also create an angular line in a similar manner that we have created with the line command. For example 50, but I required an angle of 45. Here you can see. Okay, again to exit from that command, use the escape button. Now the question is, what is the difference between line and polyline command? So here you can see the two different objects that we have created with the help of line and polyline. If you will move your cursor on your line command, you can see it will behave individually. Okay, but if you move your cursor on your polyline command, it will behave as a group. So that's the difference between your line and polyline command. Now let's move to the next command, that is a circle. You can see the plenty of options are available for the circle. We will see one by one that how can we create the circle with all of the 6 available options. So let's select the first one, that is center and radius. So in a center and radius, you need to select first your center, then provide your required radius. Let's consider we required a radius of 100 mm, type 100 and press enter. So you can see your circle has been created. Okay. Similar way for the second option, center and diameter. So again select your center and provide the diameter. Let's consider we require a diameter of 500. Then click enter. You can see the circle has been created with a diameter of 500 mm. Now let's see the third option, that is a 2 point. If you require any circle that passes from the 2 points, okay, then you can choose this option. Now select the first point from which you want to pass the circle. Let's select this corner and the second one. So here you can see a circle has been drawn that is passing from these 2 points. If I want a circle that passes from this point and this point, then you can see how easily we can create a circle that is passing from any of the 2 points. Okay. Similar way for the fourth option, if you require your circle to pass from 3 points, then select this option, select your 3 points, and you can see how easily you can create a circle that passes from your required 3 points. Okay. Now let's move to the next option, that is tangent, tangent and radius. Here TAN means tangent. If you require your circle to pass from 2 tangents and with a specific radius, then you can use this option. Select our first tangent to be here, second tangent on a second circle. Okay, so it will directly give us the dimensions of that specified circle. Hit enter button, or you can also type whatever dimension you required. So according to that, it will going to create a circle. Let's create another circle with a 2 tangent. Okay, so again select that circle. So this is my first tangent, this is my second tangent. Now I can specify the dimension as, let's consider to be 120 mm of radius. Hit enter. So you can see the 2 tangent and 120 mm of radius circle has been created. Similar way for the last option, I am creating one more line. Select the last option, that is tangent, tangent and tangent. So if I required a circle that has 3 tangents and that has been represented by these 3 lines, then select these 3 lines. You can see your circle has been created. So this is how you can utilize the 6 options of creating the circle. Okay. Now let's see our next command, that is arc. If you click on the arc, you can see around 14 options are available to create an arc. So we will see one by one. First select the 3-point arc. Now to draw any 3-point arc, first specify the start point, then your second point. Consider your second point is around 700 mm far from the first one, and select the third point. Okay, so this is how you can create your arc with the help of 3-point arc option. Now for the next one, start, center and end. In this option, we will select first start point, then center point. Let's consider we require an arc of radius around 1000 mm, and hit 1000 and provide the end point. You can select your end point, or you can type the angle that you required. You required a 90 degree, then just write 90 and click enter. So your arc has been created. You can also change the shape of that arc from any of the points. Let's consider from the center, if I want it to be somewhat more bulge out, then you can create that also. Okay, so this is how you can use the second option of arc. Then third, start, center and angle. That means specify the start point, specify the center point. Let's consider it to be around 500 mm away, and provide the angle. Okay. Then for the fourth, start, center and length. So provide the start point, provide the center point, and provide the end point. You can enter the distance between start and end point to select the end point. Okay. For example, if I will enter a distance of 1000 mm, and here you can see with the help of measure tool you can measure the distance between these two. Okay, that will be 1000. Here, this is how you can use the fourth option. Now next is start, end and angle. Select the start point, select the end point and provide the angle. Let's consider we required an angle of 120, and here is your arc. So angle 120 will be generated between first point, last point and center. Similarly, next option is start, end and direction. So start point, let's consider end point at 1000, and you can provide the direction. For the direction you can write the angle also. So press the tab T and provide the angle. So here you can see your arc has been created. Again the 120-degree angle, first point, second point and center. Now for the next option, start, end and radius. So starting point, ending point, and you can choose the radius. Let's consider required a radius of 1000 mm. So here is your arc that is having a radius of 1000 mm. You can measure the radius also. Okay. Similarly, next option, center, start and end. You can provide for center, then your start point, then your end point. So this is the simplest way. Next, center, start and angle. Center your starting point and provide the angle 120. And here is our arc. Same way, center, start and length. Again the length will be between first point and last point. So center, starting point, and for the length I am typing 2000. So this will be the length between first and last point. Okay, and last point is a continuous arc. So any of the arc you can continue as long as you want. Again, if I will select the same option, continuous arc, you can see from the last point the arc will going to continue. So this option will going to continue the last selected option. Last command that we have selected was distance between 2 points. Here you can see it is again asking the distance between 2 points. Okay, so this is how you can use the arc command. So you can draw any kind of arc with the help of these commands. Now next is rectangle. To draw any rectangle, select the rectangle command, or you can type also the rectangle in a command line. So first specify the first point, then for the second point either you can select the second point on screen or you can type the coordinates. For example, if I am typing the coordinate as 3000, and here the minus sign because we are going in a downward direction, 3000. So you can see the rectangle has been created here. So another method to create the rectangle is select the rectangle command, specify the first point. Now instead of providing the coordinate, I am providing the area. Let's consider I required an area of 1000 mm square. Hit enter. Now to create a rectangular area of 1000, your dimension is based on length or width. If you select the length, then provide the specified length. Let's consider I required a length of 250 mm, then write 250 and hit enter. So you can see one rectangle will be created, 250 mm of length, and area of that rectangle will be 1000 mm square. Same way, again select the rectangle command, specify the first point, and instead of area, if you want to provide the dimension, then specify the length of that rectangle, let's consider 1000 mm, and specify the width, let's consider 2000 mm. So here you can see one rectangle for 1000 mm by 2000 mm will be created. Again, for the third one, select the first point. Now select the rotation, at which angle you want to rotate your rectangle. Let's consider it to be 45 degree. Okay. Now your rectangle will be created at an angle of 45 degree, but provide the coordinate for opposite corner. For that you can use the dimensions also. Now for the length, let's consider to be 1200, and for the width 1500. So here you can see your rectangle has been created at an angle of 45 degree with length of 1200 and 1500. In a rectangle command, you can also draw the polygon. So select the polygon, enter the number of sides. First thing, if you want to create a triangle, then enter 3, hit enter button. Now specify the center of polygon. Okay. Next, it will going to ask you, that is, whether your polygon is inscribed in a circle or circumscribed about circle. So let's select the first point, and you can provide the dimension, that is the radius of circle. Let's consider it to be 600 mm, and here is your triangle. Same way, if I will choose the second option, first provide the side 3, then center point, then circumscribe about circle, then again 600, and here is our triangle. So with the help of any of the method, you can create the triangle. Same way, if you require a pentagon, just type the 5, then select the center, inscribed, provide the dimension 250, and here is our pentagon. With the help of polygon command, you can create polygon of any number of sides. For the more information on inscribed and circumscribed option, you can see here the explanation, and the figure is also given to you. The first one is for the inscribed and second one is for the circumscribed. Okay. Now the next command is ellipse. So if you want to create an ellipse, then select that, specify the center point, specify the first axis. Let's consider it to be around 2000 mm, and specify the second axis. Let's consider it at 1200 mm, and your ellipse is ready. Okay. Now same way, you can also create the ellipse with the help of axis and end. That means first provide the first axis. Let's consider it to be 4000 mm. Then provide the distance between center and second axis. Let's consider it to be 1000. So here is your ellipse. Okay. Third method is elliptical arc. Now to draw an elliptical arc, specify first axis, that is distance between first axis. Let's consider it to be 6000. Okay. Now second is provide the distance between center and second axis. Let's consider it to be 2000. Now the next point will define the start point of your arc. Let's consider it to be here. Okay. And next point will define end point of your arc. If you require end point with some angle, then specify the angle as, let's consider 250. So here is your arc. Okay. So this is how you can use the elliptical command. Now next one is hedge. Now hedge is specifically used for closed boundary figure. If I will select my internal point in this ellipse, then you can see it will be covered with the hedge. So you can use the different types of hedge from here. Okay. If you require this line should be highlighted, you can increase this number. Let's consider it by 10. So here you can see the hedge will be highlighted. Okay. So accordingly you can choose the hedge pattern as per your requirement, and you can also change its color here. So this is how you can use the hedge command. There are other options also associated with that, that is the gradient. So if you will select the gradient for any closed boundary, then you can see the effect of the gradient pattern. So there are plenty of options are also available for different gradient patterns. You can select those as per your requirement. So that was about the gradient. Let's see the other option associated with the drawing command. So click on the draw. So here you can see the plenty of options are also available. If you select the first one, that is spline fit. So with the help of that, you can see that I can create any shape as per my requirement. Okay. Once you have finished, press the enter button, and if you will select that again, you can see the number of control points are also available. These are the points that we have actually inserted with our mouse click. Okay. So with the help of that control point, you can change the shape also. So next is spline CV. So that is for control vertices. So specify first, next. So once you select that again, you can see the vertices has been created. Okay, you can select those vertices and you can edit them also. Next is construction line. If I will select that, specify the first point and the angle at which you want to draw that construction line. That line will be of infinite length. So generally it is used when we want to draw any object with reference to same line. Okay. Then next one is ray. That is, if I select the starting point, then this ray is also of infinite length, but from the starting point itself. Okay, so you can specify the angle or you can specify the distance also for which you require that ray. Then next one is multiple point. For example, specify the first point, then our node, then our next point. So here you can see the points has been created. The next one is divide. Let's select this object to divide and let's enter the segment as 6. Now this arc will be divided into 6 segments. So right now it is not visible, but if I will move that, you can see the points. Okay. Similarly, you can use the measure command tool also from here. Then region. So similarly, you can use the other commands also. Then next option is for the helix. So how to create the helix? First specify the center point. First base radius. Let's consider it to be 3000. Okay. So last base radius, let's consider we required of 9000. Here you can see the other options also in a line command, like number of turns that you required, turn height, twist, everything. So you can input this manually and accordingly your helix will be generated. Okay. So with the help of all of this command, you can create your 2D drawing. Now let's see that once we have completed our drawing, how can we modify our objects? The first command is to move. If I want to move any generated object, for example this triangle, then select that triangle, activate the move command or press the shortcut key M, hit enter, then it will ask you to specify the base point from which you want to move your object. Let's consider I want to move my object with the center point. Then I will pick up the geometric center and start moving that object. You can specify the end point in terms of distance and angle, or if you want to move that object either in horizontally or vertically, I will suggest switch on the ortho mode. Now your triangle will only move in either horizontal or vertical direction. Select the end point and your object has been moved. Okay. Similarly, for the second triangle also, select the triangle, activate move command. You can choose the base point as other object also. Okay. So this is how you can move your any object. Now the next one is rotate command. If I want to rotate this triangle, then select that triangle, activate the rotate command, specify the base point. Let's consider again the geometric center, then specify the rotation angle. If I will input the value as 130, then your triangle will be rotated at an angle of 130 degree. Okay. So similarly, you can rotate any of the objects. Next command is trim. So you can use the trim command when two objects are intersecting each other. So let's activate the trim command. So first select the object, press enter. Now if you remove any of the side of this triangle, then you can choose that side and that side will be removed. Okay. Same way, for example, if I will draw one line, now I don't require the line that is beyond this triangle, then you can activate the trim command, select the first object, select the second object, press enter, and you can remove the extra part. Or directly also you can remove the extra part. Activate the trim. Before selecting any object, press enter and select the extra line. Okay. So this is how you can trim your extra lines. Now the next one is extend command. For example, if I want to extend this line to the base of this triangle, then select the base line, hit enter and select the other line. So here you can see that line has been extended up to the base. Or you can also extend that line. Just activate the extend command, hit enter and select that line. In this manner you can extend or trim any of the line. Now next one is copy tool. For example, if I want to create a copy of this pentagon, then select that pentagon, activate the copy command, select the base point, and here you can see the copy has been created. So you can create number of copies that you require. Okay, next command is mirror. If I want to create a mirror image of this particular object, then select that object, hit enter, specify the first mirror line, and here you can see the mirror image has been created. Now it will ask you that whether you want to erase the source object or not. If you don't require the original object, then you can select the yes or otherwise no. Okay, so this is how you can create the mirror image of any object. Now next one is fillet. Activate the fillet command, select the first line, select the second line, and here you can see that corner has been rounded. Okay, you can change the radius of that fillet object. Also activate the fillet command. Here you can see the options are available. Okay, so go to the radius and provide the radius as 100 mm. Now again select the first and second. Okay, now next one is chamfer. So here you can see the angle, distance, everything is given to you. So provide the distance as 50, second chamfer distance as 150, specify the first line, second line, and here you can see from the first line chamfer has been created at 50, and on a second line chamfer has been created at 150 mm. Then blend curve, select the first one and second one, and here you can see the blend has been created. You can modify that according to your requirement. Okay, now next command is stretch. Activate the stretch command, specify the base point. Now you can stretch that up to whatever distance you require. Okay, so only selected part will going to stretch, other vertices will be remain as it is. Okay, the next command is scale. If you want to increase or decrease the size of any object, then you can use the scale command. Specify the base point. Let's consider we want to scale this object from its geometric center. Then you can scale accordingly. Now provide the scale factor as 0.5, and you can see that will be half of the original size. Again, if I want to make it double of the original size, then provide scale factor as 2. Clear? The next command is array. If you want to generate an array of any particular object, let's consider this object. Let's move it to the downward side. Okay, now if I want to generate an array of this particular pentagon, then select that object, click on array, and you can see the array of 3 rows and 4 columns has been generated. You can modify the properties of array. If you require a 6 column and 6 rows, then you can write it down like that. Then the distance between columns that you require, let's consider it to be 500, and distance between rows also 500. Okay, so here you can generate the array accordingly. Now for the next polar array, select that object, click on the polar array, specify the center point. Let's consider we require the center point of our array to be here. Then you can see circular array of pentagon has been generated. So total number of items are 6. If I want more than that, then you can change accordingly. Yes. If you require number of rows also to be 3, then also you can generate. Okay, so this is how you can modify your created objects. The next command is erase. If you want to erase any of the object, activate that command, select that object, hit enter button, and it will be erased. Okay. Now next command is explode. So here you can see this object is currently working as a group. That means all the lines are connected with each other. If I want to make them behave as a single line, then select that object, click on the explode. Now you can see it is behaving as a single line. Okay. Now last command in the modified but most important one, that is create a offset. If I want to create a parallel line to this one at certain distance, then I can use the offset command. So activate the offset command. First specify the distance at which you would like to create the line. For example, let's consider it to be 10 mm. So hit enter. Now specify the object for which you would like to create the offset. Click on that, and here you can see the offset will be created. Okay. So for the civil engineering work, this command is very much helpful as it will be very much useful to create the walls. Okay. So this is how you can modify your created objects or created geometry. Okay. Next one is annotation. That means once you want to provide the dimensions, choose the dimension, specify the first point, next point, and here is your dimension ready. Okay, the vertical distance between both of them is 279.51. So currently the linear dimensions are activated. If you want to provide the aligned dimension also, first point, second point, and you can see the actual size of that side is 293.89 mm. Here, if you want to modify the dimension style, go to annotation. Then you can see here ISO 25 and manage dimension style. Click on the modify, and you can see plenty of options are available to modify. Here. And next one is text. If you want to apply any text, then you can specify the first corner, second corner, and you can write the text. Let's consider it to be AutoCAD. Okay, so the height also you can manage the height. Let's consider it to be a pen. You can select the fonts also as per your requirement. You can select the color of that also. Let's consider it to be red. Here you can see that will be of red color. So this is how you can use the annotation tool. Okay. Now the layer. So whenever you are working as a professional, you should work with the layers. Now let's see that how can we create a layers and how it will be useful in our drawings. So first of all, go to the layer properties, and here you can see we have two different layers, that is layer number 0 and layer name default point. So let's create some layer. To create a layer, click on the new layer. Okay, provide a name as, let's consider rectangle. Okay, choose the color of that layer. Let's consider it to be red. Then create another layer. Consider that to be of triangle. Let's change the color for that layer also. Make it as a green. Okay. Again one new layer. Give it as a name. Pentagon. Let's provide a different color as a blue. And okay. Now close this table. Now we can transfer the created object into different layers. For example, if I will select this pentagons, okay, currently its layer is 0, but I can transfer it to layer pentagon, and you can see the color has been changed as blue. Similar way for the rectangle, I can choose the rectangular part, okay, and transfer it to rectangle. So you can see the color as now red. Similar way for the triangle, let's transfer it to triangle layer. So you can see 3 different colors are being highlighted with the 3 different geometry. So it is easy to identify that what object is in which layer. For example, at any instant of time, if you don't require the triangle, then you can switch off that triangle layer. So now triangle layer will be hidden. Similar way, if you don't want rectangle also, then hide the rectangle part also. Clear? So this is how it will be useful to use the layer while we are creating the professional work. Now next is block. If you already have some preloaded block in your computer, then you can insert those blocks from the insert tab and you can select the file location on your computer. Or else you can create the blocks also. For example, if I want to create a block of this pentagon, then you can select that pentagon and write down block, enter. Okay, so you can provide the name as a pentagon. Then if you want to change any of the properties, you can change and you can click on the OK. Yeah, so now that block will be saved in on your computer. So in future, if you want to use the same block, you can go to insert and here you can see your pentagon is highlighted. Okay, if you want to modify that block, you can go to modified block also or block editor. Okay, so this is how you can use the block command. Now next is properties. For example, I want to have the same properties for this pentagon as this one. For that, select that pentagon, click on match property and select the destination object. Now you can see that pentagon is also having a blue color and that is in layer pentagon. Okay, if you want to modify property of any single line or any object, for example, if I am selecting this line and I want to change the color as per my requirement, then I can change. If I want to change the weightage of this line, you can change the weightage also. So the weightage will not going to show here. In your print layout, it will be clearly mentioned. Okay, so here also you can change the line properties. You can choose any other lines. For example, ISO dash. Okay, and now for this line, I am converting into dash 2. Here you can see the line has been converted from the continuous to dash. Clear? Now next one is a group. As you can see, we have a different lines 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. If I want to make this as a group, then select those lines and click on the group. Now if you look at that, it will work as a group. If I want to ungroup this option, we can do that with the help of ungroup button. And here you can see again it will work as a single line. Okay, so this is how you can utilize the group command. And last one is a measure. If you want to measure anything, for example the distance, then consider the first point and consider the second point. And here you can see the distance will be highlighted. Same thing, if you want to measure the radius, then go to any of the arc or circle, select that arc and radius will be highlighted. Same thing, the third option is angle. If you want to measure the angle between any of the two lines or arc or anything, you can select first line and second, and here you can see the angle is been highlighted. Let's move to the next option, that is area. So for the area, select the first point, then second point, then again the third point, and again the first one, and hit enter. So here you can see the area and perimeter will be highlighted. The next option is volume. So volume is for 3D. So that we will cover in a next tutorial. Okay. So next one is a quick selection. So you can utilize this option if you want to select multiple geometry with a similar property. For example, properties based on layer. So if I will input that value as a rectangle and click on OK button, then all the geometry in a rectangular layer will be selected. Okay, so that will be helpful while you are working with the complicated drawing. Then the next is select all. If you want to erase everything, you can use this option. Then next is a calculator. So you can use the calculator also in AutoCAD. So this is all about the 2D command that will be helpful in creating the 2D drawings. I hope you like the information provided in this video. If you have any doubt regarding the content, you can mention in the comment. Thanks for watching.